Okay, hello. I am going to share some information with you today. This is going to be just steps you need to take to make sure you are starting, or um, if you've already started your business, if you want to backtrack and just make sure you have everything in place that you need. So I just have a little presentation I'm going to do. Okay, so myself and another photographer have started this group and this program, the Simply Confident Photographer. And that is a group on Facebook that's all about collaboration, community, and supporting each other. And we do teach workshops and things, but we really want the community to just be a place of support and help for people. So grab yourself a coffee or a tea or a water, and a notebook, and let's get started. I want you to take some notes so you know exactly what you need. So where do I start? That's the big question, right? So first, come up with a name. You want to be sure you're not overthinking this. So I see people constantly like trying to come up with something super creative, and really you need to just keep it simple. Myself and many other photographers out there really just use their name. It makes you easily identifiable. It connects you with your business, and it makes a lot of things easier. Um, some people use like some combination of names in their families, or their kids' middle names, or their kids' first names, or a family name. So keep it something close to you that really connects you with your business. So don't overthink it. You just need a name. You don't need something super creative. um, then you need to create a business plan. So most people do not do this, and it's a big mistake because a business plan lays the foundation of your business, and it helps you keep everything organized, from your financials to your marketing plans to your goals. And it's something that constantly evolves, so you can be tweaking it and changing it over time, but it's literally the foundation of your business and the blueprint from which you work off of. So it's really important. And you want to make sure you're doing a thorough business plan that's specific to photography, because it can help give you specific examples. So I've created one, I use it in my workshops. I just found generic ones online. And while they were free, they didn't really account for everything. And I ended up having to create my own and get really custom with it. So luckily, I have a background in business, so I was able to create that business plan, and have it specifically be for photographers and creatives. So you definitely want to create a business plan. Again, that will have so much stuff in it that you need. You want to register your business. So go on your Secretary of State website, and there should be an easy way to register your business on there. A lot of people do either sole proprietor or LLC. I always tell people, and I have an LLC, I tell people to do LLC because um, the main difference in that is that an LLC will protect your personal assets against your business. Not in every single case, but it's just a little more protection of liability for your business and for yourself. So consider that. It is a little bit more expensive, but for the extra protection, it's good. And it's all coming into your cost of doing business. So it's true that you have to spend money to make money. If you want to create a solid business, then you need to spend the money to lay everything out, to have everything you need, and to get the assistance to do it, whether that's hiring other professionals, like accountants and lawyers and things like that to set everything up, and hiring coaches to help you to make sure that everything's in place and that you're doing everything correctly. So just make sure you do that. Register yourself for taxes, get a tax ID number from the IRS, and that's easy to find online and to do. And again, that's an expense. So you'll have to look and see. Different states have different expenses as far as registering your business and things like that. So, but all of that is on your Secretary of State's website, and they're usually really helpful if you have questions. Unfortunately, I can't give you specifics on that because I'm not in your state. And then you want to make sure you're registered for taxes. What happens is you pay your taxes every quarter. So 4 times a year, you'll be paying taxes. I use QuickBooks to keep track of all of my money and finances. So it actually helps because they help you keep track of how much you're estimated to owe, and it can automatically send the payments from there. So I find that to be really helpful to have their subscription. But there's other programs you can use as well. You want to open a business bank account. So as soon as you have your business registered, go to the bank and keep your money separate. Hopefully you have a little bit of money that you saved up for this business, and you will be putting it right into your business bank account. You want to keep everything separate. You have to keep everything separate here. So you don't want to get into a situation where you get in trouble for not doing it. And it just makes your life so much easier to have it all separate and work from there. You want to insure your business and have pro memberships that will help you. So there's a lot of insurance out there that's not really expensive. So a lot of people use State Farm. Some people, blanking on some of the names right now, but research insurance companies in your area, or insurance companies that you already use may actually do business insurance, so you can keep it all in one place. PPA, which is the Professional Photographers of America, is a great program, and I'm part of their pro membership, and it's a yearly rate, and you actually there's so much information on there and help. There's free little courses, and there's discounts at certain places. There's a lot involved in their memberships, and I find it to be just really worth it. They also have some insurance in there. I still get extra liability insurance through an insurance company just to cover myself, but the PPA insurance is actually pretty good. And they also have something called an indemnification trust, which if you are signed up for it, you can get help legally. So I had an issue one time with a client, and I sent my contract to them, I sent them the issue, and they handled it all for me. So and I ended up having to pay her some money just to settle the whole thing and get rid of it. It was earlier on in my business, and I didn't really have my contract needed some tweaking, and so they actually paid out most of the money, and I really didn't have to pay anything. So that's big to have, just in case you ever end up in that position. So that's just a great membership to have. So the Professional Photographers of America. And it also has some insurance in there, and it has equipment insurance. So definitely look into that. So those are the basics that you need to get started. Now, other things that you need to be thinking about when you're getting started are business models. So you can do a digital only, which usually people include. Your best course of action with this is to include only a few digitals in your session fee, but make sure that session fee is a good amount of money. You want to value your digitals. And this is something I go into in other webinars and other courses and things. And then there's in-person sales, which you can still sell digitals at. It's just providing a really full service experience for your clients. And that's for people who really want to get really established connections with their clients. And maybe they want to work with less clients per year, same amount of hours, whether you do digital or in person. You decide how many hours you want to work every week with clients, but you work the same amount of hours, you just work with less clients in those hours. So that's something I go into in depth to on my YouTube channel, talking about the differences. So, and then there's online galleries to sell products. I find this doesn't work very well for people, and it's not the most profitable. So one of the other business models is usually your best case scenario. In-person sales does bring in the highest sales, but if you're priced correctly and you do it right, digital only can also be profitable. Other must-haves: you need a website, and you need it to look really professional. You need it to look like your brand. If you haven't thought about your brand and really sat down and worked through a brand workup, then you should do that. You know, your brand is not only the colors you use, but it is also who you are, what you're trying to do, what you do for your clients. You know, it's part of your personality. It's there's so much more to it than just your colors and your logo. So you want a strong website. As much as we love social media, it's not the only way or the main way to get clients anymore because everybody's on there and it's just a flood of photographers. So you want a strong website and you want to constantly be directing people to that website. You can also, it's such a great way to keep track of how many visitors you have, who visits what pages on your website, and to give information that people need. So then the next thing you need, workflow and financial software. So I told you I use QuickBooks for my financial software. For workflow, I use ShootQ. There's so many different programs out there, IrisWorks, HoneyBook. There's all kinds of things that help you keep track of contracts and invoicing, and you can set up automatic emails that go out throughout the process of your sessions. And so that's really helpful to have for you to set everything up. You obviously need marketing materials. You want business cards and you want them to really reflect, again, your brand. So, and I don't just give business cards out easily. I really am specific about how I do it. So that's something I talk about more I'm going to be talking about more in our Facebook group that we just started. And then for logo, there's so many ways you can get a great logo. 99 Designs is how I originally did a logo, but now I just have created my own. Etsy has some great people on their designers. You can ask in Facebook groups who designed people's logos, and there's just a flood of information and people that will help you with that. And any other marketing materials. So that really depends on your marketing plan, which again goes back to your business plan, which is why it's so crucial. You're going to have a list of things that you're going to need in there. You want to build your portfolio or refresh it and really add photos to your website. If you name your photos according to what you're targeting, so your city, say you're in Chicago, you want to name your photos that you're putting up on your website Chicago newborn photographer, if that's what you do. You want to add keywords in there because that's actually going to help drive traffic to your website. So that's a little tip for you. And building your portfolio does not have to be giving away sessions for free. If you want to build your portfolio and you have solid technical skills, then there are ways to build your portfolio and still charge for your sessions. You shouldn't be working for free if you've established a business. You need to make money. You want to have contracts in place because you want to protect yourself. So there's sites like the LawTog that have a lot of great contracts you can purchase. You want to talk to a lawyer that knows the laws in your area. That can be really helpful for you. I just don't want anybody to get in a trouble spot legally. So make sure you have something in place, some sort of written agreement for people. And also not just for contracts for the whole session, but for like print releases, things like that. And model releases. So make sure you have all those things in place. If you're doing in-person sales, you want sample products. So you want to make sure you have at least a few of those to get started. When it comes to pricing, again, this goes back to originating in your business plan. Then you run a very thorough cost of doing business and financial analysis. So I have one of these that I use in my workshops, and we'll be doing more videos about this soon. Run your numbers as if you need it to be your only income, even if it's not. So you never know if you're going to decide you want to take this full time or if you're going to need to. You just want to be prepared and you don't want to have to start over at that point. So you want to run your numbers as if you need it to be your only income, and you want to make sure you have every possible expense that you have now and you will have going forward. So there's a lot of estimating, but you want to overestimate what you need rather than underestimate what you need. You want to lose your fear and value yourself. We have a lot of issues around this, and I'm going to be interviewing a really amazing coach in our Facebook group in just a couple weeks that will be talking about this and why we have these fears and issues with self-worth, and how it's actually a deeper thing. It's not just about how we think. It's not just our mindset. It's actually something deeper. So definitely join us for that. You can join our group. I'll tell you at the end how to. So pricing is really important. Price yourself for profit. Do not price yourself at your minimums. Do not say, oh, well, I only need this amount, so that's all I'm going to charge. Never do that to yourself. Because a lot of times you're going to find that your minimums are having you have to take in, 100, 200, 300 clients per year. And that's just not attainable. It's not realistic. And yes, some people do it, but you're going to find that you burn out so fast, and it becomes just way too much work marketing, where you're overworking yourself trying to make sure you get that number of clients. And it's just not worth it to be overworking yourself. So, do you feel you need any of the following? More in-depth information on these topics, including any worksheets and additional resources, additional business and photography help. You're a person who feels you need someone to help guide you and support you, and you want ongoing communication and coaching, or you just want worksheets and resources. We have a new group, and we will be providing free information and resources, and other people in the group are free to give their advice and information as well. And that's the Simply Confident Photographer. If you search it on Facebook, you can find us. And we'll be starting to post videos and do different things in there. And we really just want to establish a nice supportive community for people who are doing different models and different types of businesses in photography. So come join us there. We are putting together a workshop that will be starting the end of the summer, and we're really excited about it. So if you feel like you need that help, it could be something to consider, as it really will go through every step of starting and running your photography business, literally from beginning to end, everything you need to start that foundation. So the information will be posted in the group, so you can take a look at that. I don't have it yet, but hopefully that helped you. And I look forward to meeting some of you in our group.